and I fell over 3 times. Because of the heels were just so wobbly and we were on like grass. And I fell at one point holding an umbrella and I stabbed Claudia in the hand and she bled. So it wasn't like the best first day. Hi Elle, I'm Nicola Coughlan and these are my first things. I wish I could be like, I have a lemon water and I meditate and I just think about my gratitude. I look on my phone and I go on Instagram. That's the first thing I do, let's just be honest about it. I like barely, well, firstly I wake up and I go, oh my God, I'm really tired. And then I look at Instagram and then I go, shit, get up, I'm late. I was 9 years old. I was an extra in a movie made by James Brolin called My Brother's War. And I had no lines and I had to feed swans. And I got to skip school and I got paid and it was mega. I still have it. I saved up for it for months. It was a Marc Jacobs little, it was called a flap pochette, was the name of the handbag, because I looked at it online for months and months. And it was like little brown, really soft leather and had a bird on it. And it's really beaten up and old now, it's very, very old, but I just loved that bag and wore it to death. First celebrity crush was Fred Savage, AKA Kevin Arnold from The Wonder Years. I was 13 and I think I used to say I was an exam invigilator, but I wasn't. All I was like the chaperone who brings the students to the toilet to make sure they're not cheating. But I was like a really teeny tiny like 13-year-old and all the other kids were like 17, 18. So as if I was gonna be like, excuse me, you can't cheat on your maths exam. Like they were like, probably the cheating that year's leaving certificate in Ireland was like sky high because I wasn't doing anything. My friend and I used to drink Nescafe coffee and think we were like business women. Cool. My first Bridgerton scene I shot actually never made it into the series. It was with Claudia Jessie and it was like in the middle of a blazing hot day and I was carrying Penelope's dog. Also, where's Penelope's dog? He just disappeared after season 1. Conspiracy theories. Blazing hot and I was wearing really high wedge heels because Ella Marajnik, the costume designer on season 1, told me that Claudia was really, really tall. She's not, she's like 5'6", she's really not that tall, I'm just super short. And I fell over 3 times because of the heels were just so wobbly and we were on like grass. And I fell at one point holding an umbrella and I stabbed Claudia in the hand and she bled. So it wasn't like the best first day. I was like, they're gonna think I am not normal and they're going to fire me, but they didn't, and here I am, all these years later. Oh gosh, some of them are absolutely terrible. I mean, the first one that really sticks out to me is I went to the BAFTAs in 2019 it would have been. And I had bought a dress in Selfridges and I had shoes from New Look, which is like a high street brand, and it was like very intimate. It was the first like big fancy thing I went to. And then I got like slated in the press. They were like, worst dress. And I was like, no, I'm not. I look great. How dare you? But yeah, that was like exciting. Big moment to get to go to the BAFTAs for the first time. First time being starstruck. At that same BAFTAs, I met Jane Krakowski from 30 Rock, and she gives one of the greatest comic performances, or just all-time performances in the entire world, as Jenna Maroney, and she was so, so nice. I just was like in awe of her. And I'm like quite like, okay, like I kind of hold back, but she's just someone I truly idolize and was so nice to boot. So that was like me losing my mind. Back in the day, I didn't know Instagram was public, but thank God all I posted were just like 3 relatively normal selfies. But I thought it was a photo editing app. Because remember we used to use those crazy like filters that just made everything like sort of saturated and blurry. So it was just 3 normal selfies. I've since archived them, they've been gone for a long time, but they were fairly innocuous. My first Bridgerton look, I don't know, the first day what I was wearing was obviously something totally cuckoo and yellow and lots of flowers, but the one I distinctly remember from fittings was the butterfly dress that I wore to the very first ball in the show, which is the Danbury Ball. And it makes a sneaky appearance. I don't wear it. In season 3 it makes a sneaky appearance and I asked for it to be put a certain place, so I'm excited for the hardcore fans to see that dress in season 3. Oh my gosh, I've lived in some really bad places. Well, the first time I moved away from home, I lived for a summer in San Francisco, and I lived in a hostel. But I thought, you know, even though I was in like a really rubbish hostel, I felt like I was Carrie Bradshaw because I was working in the middle of the city and I was like walking to work and very cool. And then I lived in Malta. That was like a few months after that, and I lived in a student apartment with people from all over the world. And again, was like, oh my God, I'm so cool. And we lived around a swimming pool, and I mean, I didn't do any work, any university work. I was a disaster, but I had a lot of fun. My first time in Amsterdam is this time, and it's amazing. It's so beautiful. We got to go on a canal boat trip the first night we arrived, and I also, not to sound creepy, but I love looking in people's windows, and you get really good like people watching, and you see like, ooh, their apartments, and it's like beautiful architecture. I love old world architecture, so it's heaven for me. So good. Thank you guys for watching. Find me together with my lovely Bridgerton co-stars Claudia Jessie and Hannah Dodd in the latest ELLE, in stores now.